Christ to you. Pray that I may have the grace to.
Good morning, friends. Welcome to another day of Almost Daily Meditation. Welcome to Tuesday, the day after Labor Day. I hope you were able to get some rest this weekend, if that's what was part of your routine, or to enjoy. I know many of you went to the lake, or maybe you just did yard work or something else, but I hope you had a good holiday weekend. This weekend, the texts on Sunday were about, taking up my cross and following me, and about sort of this living in an intentional way. And so I had this question this morning, thinking about, how do we live in an intentional way? So a lot of people who will be going to school today, or you'll be at work or whatever, I want to ask you a question is, who are you going to sit with at lunch? So think about this in your life, and who might you sit with? Maybe you'll be by yourself. Maybe you'll be with somebody, or maybe you'll have a chance to do that. But it's kind of an interesting question, right? If you remember from elementary school or junior high or high school, usually you'd want to sit with the cool kids, right? Whoever you decided were the cool kids, or you had certain friends you wanted to sit with, or things like that. But here's a different question: is who would you not want to sit with at lunch? Let's think about that for a minute. I was thinking about this and looking ahead at our lessons, and one of the lessons this week is out of Luke, and the beginning of the gospel says, "And the Pharisees and the scribes were grumbling at Jesus, saying, 'This fellow welcomes sinners and eats with them.'" And I thought that was a provocative statement and challenge. I mean, it's certainly nothing new. Many of you who've been part of the church and part of this have understood, but what does that mean for us to welcome sinners, and not only to welcome them, but to eat with them as modeled by Jesus? It's kind of an interesting thing in our own society that sin, whatever that sin might be defined as, is often unforgivable. It's not something that we are willing sometimes to look past. It's not something that we're willing to even maybe deal with. It's sometimes easier. We have a lot of what's called cut off in our society, where we just sort of cut off from the person that's wronged us in some way, or we don't necessarily work with sin. Now, this doesn't mean that we should put up with abuse or be in a situation in which people take advantage of us. That's not what I mean. That's continuing to sin. But being willing to sit with someone who maybe doesn't have the best reputation, maybe hasn't had the best life, maybe has struggled more than we realize. And that's part of what Jesus models in this moment, is that sinners are welcome. And then what if we're the sinner? What if we're the one that needs to be sat with and to have someone sit and have a meal with? So I just ask this as a way of getting us to think about this in terms of who we interact with and who we might see ourselves as being in relationship as fellow followers of the gospel. So what does that mean for you today to welcome sinners, and not only to welcome them, but to sit and to eat with them? Because in the end, like as Jesus said, we're all sinners. We all fall short of what God intends for us. We all have that need for our healing, and also for that reconciliation with our neighbor and with God. So who will you eat with today?
Friend, I want to be your servant. Let me be as Christ to you. Pray that I may have the grace to let you be my servant too. We are pilgrims on a journey. We are family on the road. We are here to help each other walk the mile and bear the load. I will hold the Christ light for you in the night time. that all on me. Lord of all we've known together, of Christ's love.